This is review number 2 for our quiz 4.1 through 4.3 relationships and functions. Number 1, Madison earns $25 per week for cutting grass. Write an equation to find the amount of earnings that Madison receives in any number of weeks, W. So how does she get her earnings? She earns $25 per week. That's $25 times the number of weeks. There's our equation. For part B, we're going to make a table to find the amount of allowance Madison receives in 6, 7, 8, or 9 weeks, and then we'll graph the ordered pairs and we'll label the graph. So we're told to plug in for 6, 7, 8, and 9 weeks, and let's use the rule. Let's multiply those amounts by 25. 6 times 25 is 150, and then we've got 175 when we multiply by 7. 25 times 8 is 200, and times 9 is 225. Great, let's make our graph. Remember, our weeks are like the X and our earnings are like the Y. So if this is our X-axis here, we'll really label it our number of weeks, and we can count by ones. And that would fit if I could slide my paper over. All right, and then our earnings will be measured in dollars. And for that, we'll count by, well, let's see. I can count by 25 and it will fit. If this is 25, this is 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, 175, 200, and 225. Okay, that's what we need. And let's plot our points. For 6 weeks, we had $150. 7 weeks was 175. 8 weeks is 200, and on my graph paper, I don't have room for my final point, but you do on yours. All right, for number 2, we're going to find the function value. We'll find f of 4 if f of x equals 7x. So function notation just tells us what to plug in for x. So f of 4 equals 7 times 4. F of 4 is 28. That's the ordered pair 4, 28. When we plugged in 4 for x, y was 28. For number 3, we're finding f of 6 if f of x equals x plus 5. So f of 6 equals 6 plus 5. F of 6 is 11. When we plugged in 6 for x, y was 11. Number 4, make a function table, then state the domain and the range. So we've got our rule, which is f of x equals 6x minus 1. The values for x have been chosen for us, and we're going to plug them in. 6 times 0 minus 1 is minus 1. 6 times 1 minus 1, so that 6 times 1 is 6, minus 1 is 5. 6 times 2 minus 1, 6 times 2 is 12, minus 1 is 11. And 6 times 3 minus 1, 6 times 3 is 18, minus 1 is 17. Well, our domain are all of our x values, which are 0, 1, 2, and 3. And our range are the f of x or the y values, which are negative 1, 5, 11, and 17. Number 5, a baker makes an average of 16 cakes per day. The total number of cakes, C of D, is a function of the number of days. What is the dependent variable? So what are our two variables? We've got cakes that are made in a number of days. Which one depends on the other? Do the number of days depend on how many cakes are made? Or do the number of cakes depend on how many days we've been making cakes for? Well, the latter would be the case. Our dependent variable are the number of cakes. And the cakes depend on how many days, so our independent variable will be our number of days. Write a function to represent the total number of cakes C of D baked. So what does C of D equal? Well, our cakes are dependent on our number of days, and we can make 16 cakes per day. So 16 cakes times the number of days, and that's our equation. How many cakes are made after 5 days? Well, now we're finding C of 5. That just means plug in 5 for D. 16 times 5 is equal to 80. What are our units? Well, they're asking us to find how many cakes, so it would be 80 cakes.